What's up everybody out there in YouTube land? Where are you at? I'm actually going to be doing a review on something that has nothing to do with guitars, but I think it's something that every carpenter, construction worker, or luthier should have. And it has to do with sinus rents. Anybody that's ever worked construction, whether it's like drywall, framing, finished carpentry, tile, it doesn't make a difference. If you've worked construction for any extended period of time, you get exposed to a lot of different dusts. Even if you wear a mask like this, it still doesn't give you 100% protection, especially if you've got facial hair, okay? And a lot of people in construction do. And then as a luthier, like when I'm building guitars or I'm repairing guitars, I'm using a lot of different types of woods, hardwoods, exotic woods and stuff like that. A lot of them have different types of oils in them, different allergens and things like that, that basically you don't really want to expose yourself to. But finished carpenters and luthiers know that when you're working with different types of wood, you can become sensitive to them quickly. The more that you expose yourself to different types of sawdust, like you inhale it or you get on your skin, you're increasing the chances of becoming allergic to it. If you're somebody that's in the construction trades or you're a luthier, the last thing you need to do is become allergic to your work. So what I had started doing probably about 4 years ago, as soon as I started noticing a sensitivity, the first one was actually from maple. I would often find after working with woods all day long, I would take a shower, sometimes I'd sneeze or I'd blow my nose, and what was on the tissue or on my hands or coming out of my nose basically looked like I just ended up snorting an entire line of sawdust. And it just gets trapped up inside there. And it's not good for you. There's nothing good about it at all. And at first I was cupping my hand in the shower and inhaling some of the stuff and then doing a farmer's blow to get it out of there. And then later on I started thinking, oh, wait a minute, they've got these, right, at the local pharmacy or whatever. And then so I got this and I've been using these guys ever since. And if you've never used one of these, what you do is you close off your throat so like none of the water can actually go back in your throat, and you stick it up your nostril like this, and then you end up squeezing. But it's a little messy. And does it clean out your sinus passages? Yeah, it does. It does. Right now it's really wet inside my sinus passages and it feels like I need to blow my nose or do a farmer's blow. That always disgusts people. But you know something? If you're in construction, you've done it. My wife had told me, she says, babe, the next time you go out and about, if you see this product, I want you to get it for me. And I'm like, well, what is it? And she said it's this machine that basically you stick in your nose and you push the button and it shoots water in your nose and it comes out the other end. And I'm thinking, I said, well, you mean that squeezy bottle? She goes, no, it's a machine. So that's what we're going to do. This is going to be the review, and we're actually going to be using the machine, and we're going to see how well does it work. And it's this guy right here. The actual machine itself, and they've got pre-mixed salt stuff. That I appreciate already, because I hate having to wait for this the saline solution and everything to dissolve. So this is already a winner in my book just because of that. Instruction manual. Okay, let me go ahead and set this up real quick, and as soon as I'm done setting it up, we're going to give it a test. So I'm reading the instructions. The batteries come pre-installed. There's two different sizes here. This is the first one I tried, and I felt like it was just too close together. And then this one is a little bit better, and it's also very fashionable, right? It almost like scuba gear, doesn't it? So now that I've got that guy attached, it says that the batteries are already pre-installed, so we'll see what's going on with that. From there, I ended up putting the water in through the top. I've got an RO unit, reverse osmosis for those in the know, and that is what I put inside here. So we have a salt pod. It says that you want to go ahead and put the salt pod inside and then push this down until it clicks, like so. And then I can see that the salt water is mixing with that, and we're supposed to give it a shake. Now it's saying that this button right here is like a 2-stage, and you push it down and prime it, because I think if you don't prime it, you're going to end up having vacuum, and that's no good. Huh. Well, okay, I wasn't pushing it down all the way. And then it said to put a little bit of water around the outside of the things in order to make it slip into the nostrils easier. that I guess you're supposed to just put it in your nose and go at it. Here goes something, because I don't know what the pressure is like. But once again, I want to close my throat off, and that's only through the experience of using those squeezy things. Because if not, it'll go down your throat and it'll be horrible. It tastes like salty water. It's horrible. Here we go. Chill. What the? Okay. 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 Oh. Hey, there's a bunch of stuff in there. It actually cleans stuff out. Give me a second. I'm going to let you know what I think about this. Hang on for a second. Okay, first things first. Don't do this while driving. Second thing, don't do this on your first date with anybody. Third thing, does it work? Yeah, I mean, it works. But the one thing that I noticed that this does, compared to like the squeezy bottle, is my eustachian tube, right? It's like I can hear stuff going on in my ears, right? I mean, so it's definitely doing something that the other one doesn't do. And the eustachian tube, guys, is the tube that runs from your ears to your throat. And when your ears pop, that's what's happening is you have a pressure on the back side of your eardrum, and then you have the pressure out here. And sometimes what happens is it kind of gets closed off. Every time that we swallow or yawn, it's supposed to open up and allow the pressure to equalize on both sides. Sometimes it's kind of closed off, right? And then so we end up feeling this pressure in our ears, and we have to be like, right? And then the next thing you know, it's like pop, 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 popcorn. That's the eustachian tube. So during the time that I was doing it, I can feel a vacuum. I can feel a positive pressure, but I can also feel a vacuum. And I can hear my eustachian tube going, making these weird noises and stuff. Is it uncomfortable? When you first start doing it, it's a little awkward when you first start doing it, because it almost feels like you can't breathe or something. Like it's like you're being waterboarded. But then you realize, oh, I can still breathe through my mouth. You just have to kind of be able to close everything. And it's a little awkward at first, but then after a couple of seconds, you're kind of used to it. It feels like I can breathe a lot better. There's also a whole bunch of nasty stuff floating inside here that you guys probably don't want to see. I thought the farmer blow got rid of all of it, but it didn't. I'll say this. The salt pods, they are not as aggressive as the saline packs that you usually mix. It's much more gentle, right? So, I mean, it's like you're not getting that strong, like seawater type thing, and it doesn't burn, because sometimes those saline packs, man, they burn. I think the suction and the pump thing is going to take a little bit to get used to, but it's really not that bad. It's really not that bad. And it does clean out what's going on inside here. And because of the way that it's got this positive pressure and this negative pressure, it does do better than just the squeeze. I think this is actually a pretty cool product, actually. I think this is a cool product, and I think it's way better than the squeezy bottles. If you work in construction, or you're a luthier, you work around sawdust or any type of dust or whatever, something like this would be perfect. Because every day you get home, you need to clean that crap out of your nose. You really do, because if not, it's going to catch up to you eventually. I didn't know for sure if I was actually going to like it or not when I first got it, because I'm just like, it might just be like, gimmick or something. But it does work better than the whole squeezy bottle up the nose. And I'm giving it 2 thumbs up. 2 thumbs that you can stick in your nose. But absolutely cool device. If you have the means, I highly suggest picking one up. And for those that are interested, I'll put a link in the description of where you can actually pick one of these up. So anyway, guys, that is that. If you like this video, make sure you hit like, make sure you hit subscribe, make sure you hit somebody next to you. And until next time, I will talk to you later with cleaner sinuses.